What's up, loyal subscribers? It's me, your best friend right now. Your best friend in this chaos. You've only got one best friend in this hell. In this bottomless pit of despair that is existence. Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard to accept that it's just existence that you're feeling and not something else. I guess it's a habit of the last 2,000 years of thinking that all feeling in principle should have a cause, and that by dissolving everything into its causes and effects you can interfere with those chains of causality and movement and then modify and alter your existence in a way so that you never have to experience discomfort. Well, this is not true, because existence itself has a feeling, and it's discomfort. You know, because your body is in constant entropy. Okay, your body is a physical being, and so physical beings, whether they be a fish in the sea or a star in the celestial sky, in the celestial world, it's constantly being worn down by the friction of processes, of particles colliding, kinetic energy. Yeah, it's a bitch. It's a bitch. Okay, subscribe. But I promise you guys that I was gonna do 12 rules for life. I was gonna fix that for you. That was gonna take that malaise of existence and sort it out for you, so you don't have to suffer so much. I will give you salvation in the form of videos of me holding my phone up to my face and speaking. So I got my 12 rules for life. You remember what my previous rules were? You remember that? You remember what they were? Number 1, breathe through your nose. Number 2, be a gladiator. Life's a gladiator arena. Use the net and trident, okay? There's a simple 4-step process to the net and trident. Lock the target, bait the line, spread the net, catch the man. Catch the man. Alright, so today we're moving on to lesson number 3 in a little saga, a little self-help saga. And I will be sharing my wisdom with you, the viewer, because as has been made apparent in previous videos, I'm quite the unique character. Okay, I have many intersectional identities to keep track of. In fact, many identities in the conventional sense, multiple personalities. Okay, DID. We're a system. And so, to put it bluntly, I'm smarter than you. Okay? Don't try to challenge my intellect, you mealworm. Sit and listen to my rules. You will sit and you will listen to my rules. You will nod your head in agreement. You'll go, yes. Maybe he's onto something. I am onto something. Okay? I didn't sleep till 3 in the afternoon just because I'm a lazy fucking bum. I slept till 3 in the afternoon because my brain is so beyond, so on such a completely different level that I have no control over when I sleep. I pass out as I need to before I go back to the obsessive work of awakening the world and making my 12 rules. Making my 12 rules a universal for all peoples, races, and creeds, to be united in a world empire. Anyways, that's just one of the many projects I'm working on. But as any schizo will tell you, if you know anything about numerology, you'll quickly understand why I slept till 3 in the afternoon, because it's rule 3, okay? Got rule number 3 up in this bitch, alright? And this is the dirty third. This is a big one, okay? This is an important little step in the road, if you will. So let's get right into it. Rule number 3. Rule number 3. Keep on hustling. There's nothing more to it. Keep on hustling. Alright? Now, I know what you're thinking. This is a bit simplistic. Alright? He spent like 5 minutes setting this shit up. Keep on hustling? What is this? Some white boy from suburbia that just started listening to Warren G? Huh? That's appropriating black culture? Look, guys, I swear, you could accuse me for appropriating black culture, but then I'd have to introduce you to my black altars. Alright? Yeah, I have black altars, okay? Alright? And you don't want them to be front. You don't want those motherfuckers to be front. Know what I'm saying? Anyways, keep on hustling. What does it mean? It means whatever you're doing in life, if you meet resistance, if you meet a challenge that is not overcomable, all right, and I mean come in that sense, because usually the best way to process experiences in life is to ejaculate, or if you're like me, intersex, have orgasm in a magical way. Ejaculating or coming like a woman does, I guess. Although I'm not sure if that's a real thing. People, leave a comment below. Let me know if female orgasms are actually real. Alright. I'm gonna be doing a video on the G-spot as well later. The G-spot, where the real G's come together. Know what I'm saying? Look, keep on hustling. It's not that difficult, alright? Keep on hustling, alright? Three words. So what's hustling? What does that mean? Hustling is basically, you remember when you were in school, right? Yeah, school sucks, bro, okay? I'm a genius, I can tell you, school sucks, alright? You know who else thought school sucked? Einstein, okay? You know who else thought school sucked? Fucking Steve Jobs. Other other magnates, other powerful people who went outside of conventional education structures and managed to carve for themselves a life of plenty and a life of mastery over their peers and previous generations, allowing them to employ creative destruction on the framework of reality and thus leaving a mark that will allow them to live eternally in memories. Anyways, you remember that time when you were in school and you suddenly had to do a presentation and you were like, fuck. So there's two things you can do when you're in that situation, right? You can start crying like a little bitch and come clean and tell the truth. I haven't done the assignment. Looking at your teacher with puppy eyes. But teacher, I'm not prepared for the assignment. Teacher, give me more time. Time to do what? You're a pea brain, you know it. Alright? There's no shame in that. Presentations aren't about the content. Alright? If you got your wits about you, back there in school, you can take the other path. Alright? Which is you sit back all relaxed and shit. And you go, alright then. I'll give you that motherfucking presentation. Presentación, as they say in Brazil. And you go up and you just start talking about some shit. Just start talking about some shit. And it's like, this is where watching television a lot becomes really important, because all communication with people is like 90% of communication is essentially non-verbal, because verbal processing is like a really high level function in the brain. Even verbal processing works in a really sloppy way, like you only pick out a few syllables and then kind of fill in the blanks based on contextual understanding, which is why misunderstandings are so common, because you can always make errors. Verbal communication is not about words at all. It's a lot about body language. It's about intonation. It's about words in the sense that you need the vocabulary to not stop talking, to constantly create illusions in the mind of the viewer. And again, this is where television becomes crucial, okay? If you're anything like me, you're a modern person, you've been raised in front of the television, okay? In order for you to function in the social hierarchy, you have to be able to have facial mimicry and body language that isn't going to freak everyone out. So you need to religiously watch television and copy everything that they do. And then in later contexts, you can essentially pass yourself off as having competencies and having accesses that you don't necessarily have at the moment, okay? Because a really paradoxical thing about our society is that you have to have already succeeded in order to be allowed to succeed. So if you're like me, and all you have is your massive intellect, your massive brain, but you're a slob, you're walking around like a loser, you're living on the fucking poverty line, and thinking about when I'm gonna run out of money for food. Then you just have to remember that nobody is going to want to spend time with with a dirty stray dog. Nobody's gonna want to spend time with somebody who has loser written all over their face. And so keep on hustling. I keep on hustling. I you see some weird kind of like semi legit shit on the internet. Don't be afraid to click that shit. But just remember, you're the only one watching your back. And the truth, look, nobody said it better than The Simpsons. Alright? There's the truth and the truth. Now you want to keep the truth on your sleeve. You want to shoot it at people. But the truth, don't be talking about that. Don't be talking about that. Stay positive. Okay? Because if you don't stay positive, you just get left to die by the side of the road. Okay, we're living in a positivist paradigm. Okay, write that down, the 2 P's, PP. Alright, positivist paradigm. That's the current day and age. That's what we're living in. Okay, now if you analyze the idea of positivism, you realize that it's essentially like having Down syndrome. You see the mystery of the world and you just go, yeah, there's a thing. There's another thing. I like thing. And of course it's fitting for the last age of humanity to kind of degenerate so far that the current scientific paradigm is essentially the worldview of a brain damaged person. And in most industrialized countries, highly industrialized countries such as Western Europe and North America, we're all service economies. And so we become dependent on positivism in order to create the products that we quote unquote make and sell. Alright? Services is just air repackaged. Alright? Just like words are just a bunch of waves floating through the ether. But if you don't know how to improvise when you're public speaking, you're fucked. Okay? You're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. And that's why rule number 3 is keep on hustling. And, not to appropriate too much black culture, but I find that a good way to keep on hustling is to stay lit, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of people won't recognize that as a legitimate thing, like I don't think Jordan Peterson, my great peer and fellow rule writer, I don't think he would put stay lit as a rule in his book, because obviously he has some other considerations in his career that I have to, I don't have to make those considerations in my career because my fan base is so different. So this is getting to become a long video, but yeah, in a late stage industrialized country, you essentially either you luck out and you get to work in something tangible, in which case you just have to work on your skills and have basic decency in interacting with people. But if you're not one of those lucky people, you essentially work as some type of actor. Alright, whether you're working in a store or you're working in an office, most of your job is just about filling the role. Because when you're selling non-products, what you're selling is essentially the illusion of this concept called professionalism. And in order to understand professionalism, you have to understand positivism. And positivism isn't as easy as being happy all the time. It means to positively affirm the existence of anything that can be measured. That was a definition that I just came up with. So you can see how it's completely quantity based, right? Which makes sense because, you know, that's the age we live in, you know. Quality doesn't matter, quantity matters. And I think, you know, if you get a guilty conscience, you might think, oh, I'm a liar, I'm a demagogue, you know, I'm sowing the seeds of destruction for future generations by ruining the social contract, and I'm losing myself because I'm just acting out all these illusions, and I've lost track of my true self, and you know, I'm completely helpless in the face of phenomenon such as death, etc., because I'm just so lost in the mirror maze of illusions in modern life. You know, if you're thinking about that, just revert back to the rule. Keep on hustling. Keep on hustling. Okay guys, this was a bit of a long video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the subscribe bell button. Find some sort of way to give me money. I need money. Give me money. I need money. Give me money. Give me that green. Give me money.